Alright, hi everyone, Serenity here, and welcome to It's 8 in the morning and Bungie have done something silly. Sorry if you can hear the fan in the background. I need it on. Unfortunately, this weather plus my migraines. I've never been good with heat. Now that I suffer from migraines, it's even worse. So yeah, just to get that out of the way quickly so people don't complain too much, I'm very sorry. Now, Bungie have released a tweet, which I'll screen cap here and put it up for you, saying that the anomaly is closing in 12 hours. Our calculations show it will reopen again in the next few weeks. Now, I left a comment on there and I've been bombarded with ignorance by people, unfortunately, that don't quite understand where I'm coming from when I say Bungie really need to listen to what people have to say about this anomaly and what people have to say about these types of quests. This has probably been one of the most amazing experiences Destiny 2 has had as a returning player and as a new player. I will completely admit that this is probably one of the most fun things I have done. Exploring it was amazing, it happening quite randomly was amazing. I really do wish the Black Spindle had remained undata mined, so it would have been a complete surprise, because the moment we saw it was taken it was kind of obvious. I really do think that this was one of the best things leading up to Forsaken to absolutely get me hyped for the idea that maybe Bungie do have some hands on the reins of this train wreck. Now, the thing that makes me believe otherwise, other than the fact that this spindle is ungodly powerful already, and that is before it gets box breathing. So this thing is going to have box breathing, which is something like a 70% damage increase, alongside the fact that it is basically the Black Hammer. Yeah, so that's going to be something to, well, we're just going to have to see where that goes. They must have some very interesting raid bosses coming up if this is the type of power they are bringing into the game. Now, the reason this whole 12-hour thing has annoyed me and a lot of people is because currently I have been doing some carries. Not only for friends, but I actually was doing carries for an old clan to do with basically a friend of a friend. He had some clan mates that needed help getting carried through it, and I said, sure, I'll come and help you. Now, with those people, it wasn't too bad. We actually got lucky a few times. And one time we even came straight out and the event was right there, after failing, which was fine. And I can pretty much solo the event now, almost, with the Black Spindle especially. But where things become a problem is what happened to me last night, and I wish I'd recorded it. I was going to record it, but I thought, nah, there's no point. We're just going to get one carry and then I'm going to go to bed. We decided to do this at 10 at night. When I say it was 3 hours later, and the 11th Cabal incursion had arrived, one of the fire team members had fallen asleep, because we were sitting on IO for 3 hours. Well, technically 3.5 hours. Now, Bungie, and everyone that's saying this is the way it should be, I'm going to tell you that Bungie is wrong. I don't care how much more experience their developers and games designers have than me. This is not how you do an event. And before you say, well, you say that's a bit ignorant, isn't it, because they get paid to do this? Did you see the mess that was Destiny 1 in the beginning? Did you see the mess that has been Destiny 2? Don't tell me that being professional has any inclination of not being able to fuck up, because somehow Destiny 2 got past a room of fucking people without someone saying, yeah, this is a bit naff. You know? Okay. Just to get over that. Now, the reason this is terrible, obviously, is because 3.5 hours sitting on a planet doing literally fuck all is not a skill-based problem to get over. There is nothing that me or my fire team, there is no amount of skill, there is no amount of effort, there is no amount of anything, resources, etc., etc., that we could put in to speed up this process. And this is a game which is based completely off of that grind. This is a game that is basically born out of the ability to grow from repetition. So when you take out the fundamental part of repetition, the ability to actually do the event, you are completely destroying the fundamentals of your own game. What I mean by that in less fancy terms is by not giving people the ability to actually try the jumping puzzle more than once in 3.5 hours, means that a lot of people are either never going to be able to do it because they're never going to be able to practice enough. And this is talking from someone who watched YouTube videos first time, and I still got fucking stuck before the shortcuts came out. And talking of people that want to do it pure. People that would like to do this stuff without watching YouTube videos. And I know there's few and far between, but for the people that do say, well, it's their own fault, no, it's not. There should never be a moment that you have to go to an outside resource to learn something because you think, oh shit, I might have to spend 3.5 hours sitting on a planet waiting for this to happen again. And to shut down the other argument, which is, well, in actual fact, this should have been something that was in the game ages ago, and what would have happened is there would have been more things along the side of it. Yeah, that's true. That's what I think. Completely. But then it wouldn't make sense that A, it's on a timed rotation, B, the very fact it has come out at a very finite point between Warmind and Forsaken means that it is basically stuck in this weird equilibrium that it is the only max light thing other than the prestige raids that people are doing. Meaning there isn't this moment of, oh, there's a public event on IO, let's go do it. Because A, that's ridiculous, because you wouldn't ever get actual proper practice in. You'd do it once, fuck up, and then you would not do it again for 2 days, do it again, get past the first room, and you'd never get it done before the reset. It'd be fucking physically impossible. If you think it isn't physically impossible, then I really do think you need to reevaluate the way you are viewing the situation. Not to mention the other high-end activities in the game, and by the way, I'm going to be hypercritical here, and I'm going to be looking at it from a very analytical standpoint, that the highest end activities in the game currently, other than this event, are both raids. Meaning that the fire team will have 6 people in, which means the fire teams would have to then split up into 2, rearrange fire teams very quickly with an LFG team, go down to IO with separate fire teams while trying to communicate with only your team in the same party. People just aren't going to do it because it's going to disrupt the raid that you're doing. So if it was meant to be this kind of, oh, you jump out of the raid, what are we going to do next? Spyro Stars? Oh no, look guys, IO's got a random event. That's just not going to work, sadly. If it was on a permanent rotation, and it was there for eternity, yes, maybe that could work. I still think it would be a bit ridiculous, but yeah. They did say that they are going to be patching the amount of incursions that arrive on the planet, because it's been taking up the most space. But once again, this is an extreme oversight that I do not fucking understand. How an event like this was meant to be completed by casuals, if you are truly looking at pleasing the hardcore and casual audience, how this event went through without someone checking what would actually be going down on the planet. They should have had beta testers sitting on IO for days before this event came out. They should have had them sitting in that sector for days, and it would have pointed them in the right direction that immediately there is a problem. Now, maybe this problem did come about due to the fact that the Blight had something added to it. Yes, that is very simple. As we know, apparently the whole AI in Alien was fucked up because of one mistyped code, which still sounds like bollocks, which probably is bollocks, but yeah, there is this level of things can go wrong when you're changing stuff. I do understand that. So if that is the case, it's fine. But that means what should have been done, rather than this 12-hour cancellation, the flashpoint should have been extended by another few days. Now, I don't mean into next week, necessarily, as in it overrules the next flashpoint. I think the event should have remained as like a sub-flashpoint of some kind, not a flashpoint. It would just sort of still be the same event. You could still do the event on IO. Or, a better way of handling it, I personally think, is carries. I think if someone has the heroic version, you should be able to take someone through it and get them the gun from the first time they complete it. Which people will obviously say, well, you can't do that because the normal version has different loot pools. Actually, you can do quite easy things, as you've seen with the raids. If you have a heroic version and a normal version of something, it is quite easy to just say, if this is the first completion of the week, it will look to see if you've done it on normal. If you have, it will just register it, shove the loot in your inventory. Same exact way, it should just give them the catalyst and the gun at the exact same time. Which that might be a bit more complicated due to the fact that you'd have to be getting a gun and a catalyst, but if it just was programmed to give you the gun first, it would be fine. The game would still register you have the gun, then give you the catalyst, etc, etc. Lots of back-end stuff that I'm talking about that a lot of people don't care about, but I'm just giving solutions for the people that I know will point stuff out if they ever see this. See, now this is why I do think Bungie need to take a lot of more care with these events and look back at their previous ones. Destiny 1's version of this event was a daily. It was done in a day, but the reason it could be done in a day, and I didn't even get the Black Spindle on the first day, because I struggled with it. It was fucking hard. I had to wait for the next daily to roll around. That is good. That's how it should be. I fucked up, I wasn't skilled enough to do it, so I had to wait. But it was skill and power that was locking me out of getting that gun. Not an arbitrary 3.5 hours sitting on a planet. It also then harped to the idea that I tried it literally about 30 times with people and we couldn't get it done. But we got the formula down. We knew how to do it, we just needed to get stronger. That is how Destiny should work. That is how the game should be, just non-stop. You should be able to throw yourself at a challenge as much as you like, but if you are not good enough or you are not strong enough, you should never be able to complete it. That is a simple fact of what being hardcore means. And if you do throw yourself at it enough to the point where you get lucky and somehow get it, good. You've put in the time investment. That is where time investment comes in. But that is a different type of time investment than sitting on a planet for 3.5 fucking hours. I don't understand how this ever sort of happened, I guess is what I'm saying. And I do think it is something that really needs to be addressed, because it's not fair on the casual audience, and that's coming from someone that hates the fact that they cater to the casual audience and ruin the game. But I do agree that this is something which is very much unfair on the casual audience, because not only did they fuck it up, then time gated it, they made it so it was something that if something did go wrong, there was physically no way around it. There was just nothing the casual audience could do. There's nothing at all people could do. A casual player could have spent their 3.5 hours that they have after work waiting for a public event that never came. You know? Do you see how that's really bad games design and just really bad community play? Well, like, not community feedback, but basically treating your community. As always, this is an open topic, so leave your feedback and tell me what you think. If you think my ideas are stupid, feel free. But I personally do think that there is a limit of where hardcore and casual do need to cross over, and this was one of those cases where if you don't have unlimited free time, you're basically doomed. And as I said, literally one of our fire team members fell asleep waiting for this fucking public event because it was 3.5 hours sitting on fucking Io, the most boring planet in the game. Peace out, guys. And as always, have a good one.